It's a death-defying adventure for Jasmine and Aladdin as they head to the Halari Jungle in the search for the Sultan Stone. The sun shone brightly in the sky. Jasmine surveyed the palace grounds. There was still work to do. Tomorrow was the Day of Unity, the day each year when all of Agrabah celebrated the city's history. And this year was the 500th anniversary. Nearby, she spotted her father, the Sultan, speaking excitedly to one of their servants. Jasmine moved closer to listen. The servant, Farid, shook his head. "I'm sorry, Sultan, but the search party failed to find the stone. The Halari Jungle is just too vast." The Sultan looked very disappointed. "Thank you for letting me know." The Halari Jungle, Jasmine thought. She'd always wanted to go there, but her father said it was too dangerous. She found Aladdin and told him what she had heard. "I bet he was talking about the Sultan's stone," Aladdin said. "The first Sultan of Agrabah was beloved by all, but the Sultan's brother was jealous, so he stole an important stone that belonged to the Sultan and hid it behind a waterfall in the jungle. No one's ever been able to find it." "Until today," Jasmine said, "because we're going to find it." "Sounds like my kind of adventure," Aladdin replied. He whistled for the magic carpet and Abu, and together they took off for the Halari Jungle. On the way, Jasmine asked Aladdin more about the stone. "What does the Sultan's stone look like exactly?" "Most people believe it's a statue of the first Sultan. No one knows what he looked like." I wonder if—" "That's it," Jasmine interrupted, pointing to a dense forest in the middle of the desert. "The Halari Jungle." The magic carpet glided to the ground right on the edge of the jungle. Jasmine told the magic carpet that they'd return soon. Jasmine led the way. The jungle was beautiful. It didn't seem scary at all. Why was Father so concerned about me coming here? She wondered. It's so peaceful and— "Jasmine, look out!" Aladdin cried. Jasmine stopped just in time. They were at the edge of a swamp. Abu squeaked wildly and pointed. Something was moving in the swamp. And not just anything. It was a crocodile. Maybe we should turn around and try a different route," Aladdin suggested. But Jasmine spotted just what they needed. 2 long, strong branches. She handed Aladdin one of the branches. With the other, she vaulted clear over the swamp. Aladdin used his branch to cross over after her. "Nice work, princess," he told her. "Now let's find this thing and get out of here." After just a few steps, they came to a clearing. In the center was a giant stone covered with beautiful jewels. "Well, that was easy," Aladdin said, giving Jasmine a quizzical look. Could this be the Sultan's stone? Jasmine started to walk toward the stone, but Aladdin stopped her. "Jasmine, if the stone is right here, why has no one discovered it yet?" he said. "And I don't see any waterfalls around here." "Good point," Jasmine replied. "It could be a trap." Instead of walking closer to the stone herself, Jasmine picked a grapefruit from a nearby tree and rolled it to the base of the stone. Zap! As soon as the grapefruit hit the stone, there was a blinding burst of light. The grapefruit instantly burned to cinders. Jasmine gasped. The Sultan's brother must have been a powerful enchanter to make a stone do that. Well, I'm glad the grapefruit found that out the hard way and not us, Aladdin replied. Jasmine thought the trap must mean they were heading in the right direction. But after hours of searching, she started to wonder if Aladdin had been right. Maybe they should have tried a different route to begin with. Everyone was tired, hungry, and ready for a rest. When Jasmine turned around to suggest a break, she saw that Abu had a bunch of berries in his hand. They were a beautiful purple color, and they looked exactly like... Abu! Jasmine cried as Abu popped a few berries into his mouth. Those are night bloom berries. They're poisonous. Abu squeaked and spat out the berries. It's a good thing you didn't eat those, Abu, Aladdin said. I know you're hungry. We'll get you dinner soon. But the berries had got Jasmine thinking. Night bloom berries only grew near water. Jasmine raced ahead and, sure enough, there it was. The waterfall. Aladdin and Abu caught up. You found it! Aladdin cried. Jasmine and Aladdin walked over to get a closer look. A path of mossy rocks led right behind the falls. Eagerly, Jasmine stepped onto the first rock and almost slipped into the rushing water. Slowly, they made it across, but when they reached the back of the waterfall, there was only a bare cave wall. Jasmine sighed. Had they come all this way for nothing? She leaned against the wall to rest. Suddenly, the wall moved. Aladdin, help me push this open, she exclaimed. They pushed with all their strength. Slowly but surely, the wall began to turn. When it was fully open, Jasmine and Aladdin saw that there was a secret room. In the center of the room sat an ancient wooden box. But Jasmine and Aladdin didn't reach for it right away. They remembered what had happened with the stone trap. Aladdin scanned the room. He took one step forward, lightly placing his foot on the floor. Immediately, the floor tiles began to crumble beneath the pressure. Jasmine, he said, are you ready to run? Fast? Jasmine nodded, and together they bolted for the pedestal. As the pair ran, the entire floor crumbled beneath them. Loose rocks began to fall from above. They dodged left, then right, and just as Aladdin and Jasmine were about to run out of floor, they reached the pedestal. Instantly, the shaking stopped. So, that could have gone better, Aladdin said as he looked at the collapsed cavern behind them. At least we have the stone, Jasmine replied, picking up the box. Now empty, the pedestal sank into the ground, revealing a secret passageway. Of course! This must be how the Sultan's brother escaped after hiding the stone, Jasmine said. They followed the passage down and around, left and right, until they emerged back in the jungle on the other side of the waterfall. We made it, Jasmine cried. I think it's time to take a look at that stone, Aladdin said. Jasmine opened the box, expecting to find a statue covered in precious rubies or sparkling emeralds inside. Instead, she found a very simple carving of a woman wearing royal robes. Jasmine turned it over in her hands. "Look, there's some writing on it," Aladdin pointed out. Jasmine peered closely at the writing. "The Stone of Leela, the first ruler of Agrabah," she read. "I guess the first Sultan of Agrabah was actually a sultana." Aladdin smiled. "This is a beautiful statue," he said, admiring it. "And I'm sure Agrabah will be very happy to have it back. Speaking of which, we should probably get back." At noon the next day, the people of Agrabah gathered in front of the palace. "Before we celebrate, my daughter would like to speak," the Sultan announced. Jasmine stepped forward. "We are so excited to have you at the palace," she began, "and we are even more excited because we are celebrating something special on this 500th day of unity." She thrust the Sultan's stone into the air. "The return of the Sultan's stone," she cried. The crowd gasped and then broke into wild cheers. Jasmine glanced at her father, whose mouth was wide open. But how did you find the Sultan's stone? I thought it was in the Halari Jungle," he said incredulously. "It was in the jungle," Jasmine said with a smile. "I'll take you there someday." She winked. The Day of Unity was a huge success. The people of Agrabah packed the palace grounds, eating, playing, and most of all, celebrating the return of the Sultan's stone.